What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. If you saw the title of this video, or you don't even need to see the title of this video, you see what's beside me. It's really interesting because she needs no introduction at all. I thought I would sit down with you guys and give you a complete breakdown of this dress because this is the dress that started my career as a designer, as a fashion designer, as a couture fashion designer. It was the first dress that I ever made for someone other than myself. And the interesting thing is because of the Real Housewives of Potomac, the new reunion that's coming out where the girls all have on white, I thought, you know what? Why not show the dress that I made for my first reunion, and really the first dress that I ever made for anybody other than myself, which was for my best friend Monique Samuels when she was on Real Housewives of Potomac. Now this was in 2020, and the theme for the reunion was yellow. And I just wanted to give you guys, I've talked to you about this dress before, and of course you've seen it everywhere, but I just wanted to basically give you like a quick breakdown, like a really in-depth breakdown of the dress, because a lot of you have seen it. You've seen it on TV. You've probably even seen it on my channel as I was making it, but you really just didn't really get into the detail. And I pulled this out of the archive, which is where it has been sitting waiting to go in an exhibit, maybe in the future. And thought, let me just give them a close-up because it's reunion time. I did get asked to do a dress for the reunion this year, but they ended up going in a different direction. So you'll see my work on Housewives of Potomac again. You did see it this year, obviously, on Karen earlier this year. But yeah, so anyway, I just want to give you a little bit of a breakdown, and here it is. Now, before I give you the in-depth close-up tour, I guess, of this dress, I want to basically give you the backstory of it. So basically, my best friend, Monique Samuels, who I've known for over 21 years, was on Real Housewives of Potomac, and she needed a yellow dress for the reunion. And I was like, where are you going to find a yellow dress for this time of year in November? And she was just like, her assistant was like, you should make it. And I was just like, no, absolutely not. And what's so interesting is I was already working on some stuff for her music video, Drag Queens. And in the middle of that, she halted she pushed back the video so I could make this dress. And I was not going to do it because I thought, this is a big dress. Like, first of all, this is going to be on the biggest stage, you know, the world stage. Everyone's going to see it. It's on Bravo. Everyone watches the show. This is going to be huge. So I was like, no, I don't want to do this. And then I kind of got convinced, and I was like, you know what? If I were going to do it, this is what I would do. And what's interesting is, so I have a relationship with a lot of the fabric houses in New York. Been going to them for years, basically just shopping for fabric for my concerts. And so I was like, I called them because it was during the pandemic, and I was like, what do you have that's yellow and in sequins? And he sent me a bunch of different photos of these things, and I was just like, that's the one. I said to Monique, that's the one. It was the one that was the less frilly and wasn't like floral. It had a very architectural, almost Art Deco feel to it. And so that's the one that we decided to go with. And I said, well, if I were going to do this, this is what I would do. And I would cover it in citrine stones. So this dress has 27,000 Swarovski crystals all over it. Citrine Swarovski crystals. Also, they overnighted me the fabric, and actually started making the dress before I had so much of the fabric. I was just like, let me just make her a quick dress, like something strapless, and let's see what she thinks of this. Like, I'm just basically, because the interesting thing is there's no sketch for this dress. We never sketched anything. I never had a concept of anything. The fabric pretty much dictated the dress. And here is a close-up of it. All right, so the cool thing is this dress, as with all of my dresses, most of them at least, especially reunion gowns, I always build in the undergarment So what you're seeing here is not like, even though this is sheer, what you're seeing is actually a nude undergarment that was matched to her skin. And she had gone to Aruba right before the reunion, so she had gotten dark. But what was really interesting is this fabric did not come the color of her skin. I was going to have to dye it, but when I test dyed it, it actually dyed the sequins and it made them dull. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to have to go in and I'm going to hand paint in between every, so I went with the brush in between all here, all of this, every single spot here. All of this is, it looks like there's a stone there. A me painting really. And you can see here the undergarment that fits. It's a bodysuit. It has boning in it right there. And it basically snatches you. And then if she had to go to the restroom, she could lift this up and she could undo the middle. But yeah, so basically all of this was sheer and you could see her skin through it. But yeah, and so another great thing is, or interesting fact, I should say, since I'm giving you a little behind the scenes, we couldn't figure, originally we thought, let's make this dress, a split on the side, because everyone does a split on the side. But because of the way that the pattern of the fabric was, we thought, well, where would we cut it? Would we cut it right here? Would we cut it there? Where would we do it? And we just thought, let's cut it in the middle. And when she sat down, it didn't matter which side she was on because this dress has no train. The mannequin's a lot shorter than her. Monique is about 5'7", and she had on So Kate heels that had a 5-inch heel. So yeah, this hit right at the floor. I cut it literally right on her so that it would hit right on the floor. And originally I had put a shoulder pad in the sleeve and she was like, no, take that out, because it was making her look linebacker as she felt. So we did that. And she wanted something up around her collar. And that's what really set this dress up off, because you would have only seen her from here up, just like this. But this, given this little extra detail, she didn't have to worry about jewelry. And also it kind of gave it more of an architectural look. And I used some fabric from down here and placed the strap across and just kind of fashioned this so it almost looks like a vertebrae, like bones or something. Very Art Deco, but also kind of tribal. And as you can see here, I'll show you, this is all, it's not padded, but this is basically all has a bust cup here. So it holds her in there. So she's not worrying about pulling up the dress and she's not worried about it falling down. My thing is so here's a trick for anybody who is wearing a dress or making a dress. As long as it fits right here in the waist, it's not going to slide down. Therefore, you're not worrying about pulling it up here. A lot of times people think it's the bust that's not fitting, and that's why it's sliding down. It's usually the waist. If the waist is tight enough here, it keeps it from sliding down. So that's just a little interesting fact for you, or an interesting little tip for you there. Yeah, there's the whole thing here. So I ended up gathering in here to give it more of to accentuate her body. The way it was sitting, there was a whole piece right here in the center that I cut out and then sewed this together. So it literally was just like a puzzle, basically. And just really about the fit of it, because it fits so perfectly. She's actually a little bit smaller than this mannequin, but it does have a little bit of stretch. And the sleeve also is sheer too. Yeah. And then also the decision to match if you see here, the pattern on the sleeve matches right up with it's just little details like that. That was intentional also. And as you can see, the pattern up top matches the pattern there. Because with this fabric being the way that it is, placement was everything. And so the stripes go down the front and all this is on the bodice. Now, the details. As you can see here, and what's funny is, as much as this is sparkling for you guys right now, it sparkles way more in person. It's actually blinding in person. But it's very hard to convey that with the lighting here. Each one of these crystals were placed by hand, one by one. This is literally glue, the stone and like a picking up the stone and placing it right where you want it to go. And there are over 2,000, excuse me, not 2,000, there are over 27,000 Swarovski crystals. This is not a light dress. This dress is pretty heavy, very heavy. And yeah. So here's the thing. There are absolutely no seams on the side of this dress. The pattern goes all the way around. I'm not sure like how to explain to you. Like maybe we lucked out in the fact that it stretches, or maybe we lucked out in the fact that she's so small. And I think gathering it here in the center and putting this like making this so tight here kept us from having to take anything in on the side. But it was great because then it allows us the opportunity to have a continuous flow of the pattern, and the only seam is in the back. And it was very important that I matched up the back seam with the pattern. And it just so happened to work out that way, the way the pattern is on the fabric. It's honestly, when things come together, it's just meant to be. Yeah. And the only thing, the seam is there, and then there's the zipper, and it is an industrial zipper, and it is a gold zipper. I don't like hidden zippers. I don't like working with them. They're hard to work with, but also easy to have a malfunction on the day of wearing the dress. And especially since I come from a background of performing, we don't have time for that kind of thing. Sometimes I have less than 2 minutes to get into out of one costume and into another one. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, there's that's the dress. This is the dress that started it all. This dress is priceless as far as I'm concerned. So many people have offered to buy this dress. So many people have offered to rent this dress. This dress will not be worn again by anyone else other than Monique. And it will be seen on display in a gallery one day, in an exhibit, because it is an iconic dress. And I love it. And if you know about the binder, this dress is synonymous with a famous binder that's like the burn book. Binder times. That's what it was called. But yeah, there you go. This was the dress that started my career, and I'm so forever grateful. Honestly, the funny thing about this dress is when I have someone talk to me about getting a dress done, or when someone comes up to me and is like fanning out or something, this is the dress they always talk about. They're like, "Oh, the yellow dress that you did for Monique," and stuff. And the thing is this was a very unique dress. You had not seen anything like this at the reunion, and we still haven't. Normally, you see, Monique's not a very floral girl. She's not like this dress really is her. This dress almost has a nod to a tribal aspect, a little bit of African. It was already sparkly, but of course, me being extra had to add even more sparkle. So there is literally sparkle on top of sequins. You can see that there. There's sequins, yellow sequins and gold sequins, and on top of those sequins, which are laying flat. Now you can do this if your sequins lays flat. And you can even see here, so we left some spaces there. Yeah. But if the sequin moves around, if it's that one that kind of changes color, it's kind of harder to do. But yeah, there you go. Now, comment down below any questions that you may have about this dress. If I didn't answer something about it, I am going to show you actually. Give me just 1 second. All right. So here's the inside of the dress. This is the undergarment that's built into the dress. See, it color matches her skin. And it basically has the built-in whole bodysuit there, and there is a second zipper there. So yeah, that's the inside, which is not always the prettiest, but it's what's holding the dress up. And it's what gives it the most comfortability. She does not have to wear any undergarments. They're all built in, all to match her skin. You can't see them. Some people did not even know there was anything underneath. But yeah, there you go. All right, well, there you have it. There's the first dress that started my career as a designer. It's 5 years old. My company turns 5 years old in April, and I'm excited for what the new year will bring and what amazing other creations that I will create, and hopefully you'll stick around to watch me do those creations by subscribing to my channel. All right, I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.